Well, good morning, and welcome back to Lent, this pilgrimage that we find ourselves on this Monday of the first week of Lent. And although we find ourselves today on day 6 of the pilgrimage, the theme or the invitation that was presented to us from the heart of God on day 1 continues to remain and linger and imbue everything that we do during Lent. On Ash Wednesday, the very first line from the prophet Joel that we proclaimed at Mass was an invitation for us to give our hearts to God. Lent's about our hearts. It's about the heart of God who is longing for our hearts to return to Him. Lent's also a really good time for us to be honest with ourselves about our own hearts and just the reality that sometimes our own hearts can be hardened. Our own hearts can desire things that are not from God, and our hearts sometimes need conversion. Lent's about our hearts. Today's first reading from the Old Testament, Moses finds himself with the Israelite people as God is in pursuit of their hearts, and he gives them the commandments given to the chosen people so that they could be God's chosen people. The commandments were, you might say, forming the hearts of the chosen people so that their hearts would be for God and for God alone. I'm a big fan of Christopher West and his commentary on the theology of the body, and he often reminds us that, those commandments are a lot less about what we're not supposed to do and a lot more about what our hearts want to do. In other words, he reminds us, you only need the commandments when you want to break them. I'll give you an example. Like, I have no need of the commandment, thou shalt not kill. The commandment that I'm not supposed to murder isn't for me something that prevents me. It's not a commandment that tells me what I'm not supposed to do. I don't have a desire to murder, and so the commandment, you might say, falls on a part of my heart. It is presented in a place of my heart that's already converted to the heart of God. I don't need the structure because I don't want to go outside the boundaries. But we need the commandments because none of us have a pure heart. None of us have a heart that's totally converted and free in Jesus Christ. And I would dare say that the commandments that I struggle with, or the commandments that we struggle with, it's actually not a quote-unquote problem with the commandment as much as it might be an area of our own heart that's been hardened by life, or that is not ordered toward God. And so the beauty of Lent is that it's a time for us to look at our hearts. Why is it that we would want to break a commandment if we struggle with it? And that's what sin is. Sin is when, essentially, our hearts are not ordered toward God. They're ordered toward something else. And as much as we argue about, this or that, in reality, if we're honest with ourselves, Lent's a time for us to be honest about why is it that our hearts desire to do things that are not of God. And if we look there, then what we'll find God is the heart of God laboring to love us and to help us. So my encouragement to you today as we hear the commandments in the first reading is to look inside your heart. Ask God to show you what needs to be ordered to Him so that our hearts might rest in Him and that this Lent might be the best Lent of our lives. God bless you.